Good morning, everybody. I had a lovely night in the tent here, and it's kind of weird that I wouldn't have thought that this tent has way more room inside than my other one, but it really does. I've got just about everything packed up in the tent, and I'm gonna get out and get some breakfast going. Okay, so it's a little bit past 6:30, and I'm slowly getting things packed up. For breakfast, I have the Mountain House biscuits and gravy, so I'm really looking forward to that. And yeah, I'm gonna get this going and then get some coffee, get the tent put away, and get out on the water a little bit earlier than normal. So hopefully I'll have a good day on the lake. I think, if I remember correctly, I have 43 miles left to the dam. So we'll see how far we can get today. Okay, so it's a little after 7 o'clock and I'm ready to hit the water. So I never did fix the chair. My quick fix seems to be working for now, so I'm just gonna continue with that today and see how it goes, and if it really starts to annoy me, I'll stop and change it out. So, but it is not fun to do that, so if I don't have to, I probably won't. My parents next week are coming up, and they're just bringing me the other chair from my other kayak. I have another Hobie at home, and they're going to bring me the chair from that, just because if one part broke on this, there's probably going to be another part that broke, so I'm going to switch it out with the other one that I haven't been sitting on for 2 months straight. So that's kind of the plan. So I'm going to head out on the water. It is a very beautiful day, and see how far I can get. So I'm coming up on Big Bend. I've still got one more turn before that happens, but it is a big peninsula, kind of like Little Bend, but this one's about 25 miles around, whereas Little Bend was about 13. So this one's a lot bigger and is going to take probably all day to get around. But that's okay. But yeah, that's kind of the plan for today, is to try to get around most of that. So once I get past that, the dam is actually named Big Bend Dam. And as soon as you get over that, you get into Lake Sharp. So, and it is a little bit bigger than this. It's 107 miles long versus this 80-mile long lake. It's a little after 8 o'clock, and I've now reached the start of the next turn. So the whole lake turns to the left here, and it's a pretty gradual turn, but I'm pretty close to the shore, so it looks like it just ends right there. But it just continues around, and that's going to be most of the morning, is this big old turn. But it is just amazingly calm. So it appears I'm now entering the minefield. It looks like it goes out most of the way across the lake. So just gonna have to be careful, try to keep an eye out. I just had one float right on by, like an inch below the surface, about 2 feet to the right of me. So just gonna try to be careful. Nothing else you can do. I plan to keep the pedals up against the hull as much as possible. Just less things to get caught on if I roll over a tree. So hopefully no problems. But I can see hundreds of stumps sticking about 8 inches out of the water. So those are all the lovely trees sticking up out of the water. They're mostly, a foot to 8 inches up out of the water. And I do have a little bit of a tailwind blowing now, which is pretty awesome. So 2 days in a row of tailwinds. This is great. So there are about 6-inch waves rolling past. So I'm just trying to keep an eye on the troughs of the waves, the lower part, to make sure there's no trees sticking up in them. And yeah, so far so good. There's a whole bunch of trees out here, but there's kind of along the shore there's not any so far. So I'm able to just stick close to shore and avoid all these trees so far, and I'm happy to not have any problems. So it's very hazy today, that's what they were calling on the weather app, and there's definitely a lot of smoke today. And but the tailwind is picked up. The waves are getting a little bigger, but they're pushing me, so I'm enjoying it. I'm going almost 4 miles an hour, barely pedaling. So pretty awesome. So it's a little bit past 11, and it appears the smoke is getting even thicker because it's getting hazy like right across the lake here. So that's fun. But other than that, I'm doing good. Just the tailwind's continuing to pick up a little bit, but it's just pushing, so no big deal. And just working my way around this big old turn here. So it's just about noon, and this is probably the haziest it's been smoke-wise the entire trip. It's pretty thick, and I can definitely my throat's burning a little bit from all the smoke. I can definitely tell. But it's just about noon, so for lunch I have menu number 16, chicken burrito bowl, along with a liter of Diet Coke. So that's my lunch. I'm gonna start snacking on that as I just continue down the lake. The wind keeps dying down and then picking up again and then dying down, but it's all mostly a tailwind, so I don't really mind. And yeah, just having a good day today, just trying to make miles. So it's about 2 o'clock and it's still really smoky and I've still got a tailwind. So I'm just going along this shoreline here. Looks like I've got a bunch of trees coming up. So they're in kind of groups. Like I won't see any trees sticking up and then there'll be a whole bunch in one spot and then none again for a couple miles. One thing you got to deal with while on the water is I was given a bag of cookies and they're very good and I'm enjoying them. But eventually everything just kind of gets messed up. So I now have a bag of cookie crumbles rather than cookies, but they still taste good and that's all that matters. So you just got to expect a lot of things are going to get mushed up when they get put inside a kayak and out over and over again and just moved around. So just kind of normal to expect your food to be kind of messed up a little bit. So it's about 3 o'clock and I just realized it's not actually cloudy today. It is it's just smoke. Like I thought it was cloudy all day today, but no, it's literally just the smoke so thick it seems like it's cloudy out, which is kind of a crazy realization, but it's all right. It's not bothering me too much. So this afternoon I'm having fly issues. They're quite annoying. So they like to bite just these regular like house flies. They don't bite in Missouri, but here they do. It's not a very bad bite, like nowhere near a horsefly in Missouri, but they still hurt and they like to bite around my ankles, and which is a little annoying sometimes. But as long as I keep my feet moving, 99% of the time I'm fine. And they seem not to be able to bite through my shirt too well. At least the small ones. The bigger ones can bite through my shirt, but most of these can't. So I typically use the fan here. Like it's not that hot today, but I keep it on blowing towards my face. The moving air keeps the flies from landing on my face, which really helps. So yeah, they're just really annoying today. There's quite a few of them all over the place. Well, it's 4 o'clock and the flies are slowly getting worse, and I'm about ready to put on some fly gear probably. And the smoke is still pretty bad, but I'm cruising along. The one good thing about all these flies is it makes you pedal pretty hard, because if you stop, they'll land on your ankles and bite you. But I think I'm gonna have to put my boots on. Even though they'll be hot, I won't be bit by flies, so I think I'll take that right now. So apparently I'm getting the flies I've heard so many stories about on the lakes, because they're just everywhere. I'm not sure how well the camera picks them up, but yeah, I'm doing okay actually. With this fan blowing on my face, they're not landing on my face at all, so I'm just mostly ignoring them. There's only one or two big enough that can actually bite me, so it's working out. And the flies are getting even worse. So I'm not really getting bit at this point with the boots on, but they're just flying everywhere and being really annoying. But yeah, they're just absolutely everywhere. Well, I pulled up on shore just for a second to go to the bathroom, and there's these big old clusters of zebra mussels. I've heard about them before and that they are invasive species, but I've never actually seen them before. This is the first time on this trip that I've actually seen the zebra mussels. And other than that, it is just a beautiful day out here on Lake Sharp. It's about 6 o'clock right now. So I'm just working my way. I'm almost to the start of Big Bend. And the flies are everywhere. So it's about 7 o'clock and I am in Big Bend now. So on the other side of those hills right there, it's about a mile to the lake again. But it's 25 miles all the way around. So that's what I'm starting, and we'll see how far I can get today. Well, it's about 7:30 and the lake is just completely calm. Has been for a while, and it's really enjoyable. The sun is setting. I've made the turn. So I'm actually going north right now around Big Bend. But the flies have calmed down a little bit. They're still everywhere, but they're not like buzzing horde in front of me right now. So I appreciate that. Well, it's a little bit after 8 o'clock, and I think I'm going to pull off here. It looks like a nice little spot. I have a pretty good sized video to edit, and it's super calm out, but it's not hot, so it's actually really enjoyable. So it would have been the perfect day ever if there weren't flies everywhere. Plus, it's still pretty smoky. But still, I got the nice red sunset from the smoke, and I think I'm going to set up camp here. Hopefully I can get the tent set up and everything in there along with myself without getting too many flies in the tent with me, but that's why I have a fly swatter. Well, I think here's camp for the night. I would never probably camp here if it was going to storm or anything, because I'm only 6 or 8 inches above the water here, but it's supposed to be dead calm like this pretty much all night. So I think it'll work out perfectly. There's a little pond here, which I'm not sure is connected to the lake here. It kind of looks like it is. So that's pretty cool. It's a very interesting spot to spend the evening. Well, it is actually a pond, which is pretty interesting. So hopefully it doesn't mean that there's a crazy amount of mosquitoes compared to normal. But, you know, normally it's pretty bad anyways. So don't really see that it would make a difference. But yeah, I'm going to get the tent set up. It's nice and cool, so I should be able to spend the evening in the tent without overheating. And once I get everything in there, escape in there away from these bugs. Okay, so I've got the tent set up, and I think I've only got like one fly in the tent so far. That's the only one I saw fly in, so hopefully it won't be too bad. So I'm not going to get much of a sunset with the smoke so thick. It's just kind of a glow in the distance, but that's okay. I'm going to get these meals rehydrated and then escape in the tent. I got a bunch of work to do. I got to edit a video. So I've got my little editing setup here. I got a fan and my laptop on the hard case, and I've got my meals in here rehydrating. I think it's funny. I was at the start of the trip, I was super careful about like eating far away from where I camped, and now I usually bring the food in here to get away from the bugs. So these bags have Ziploc seals on the top, so I'm able to seal them up, and there's no like food smell leaking out. So I haven't had any problems, and I'm not really in bear country anymore, so just don't worry about it. But yeah, so that's kind of what my next couple hours are going to be, is editing the video. Luckily this campsite's on a sandy beach, so it's nice and soft. Last night it was on like gravel, and it was a little uncomfortable unless I was, laying on the air mattress, but not today. So it's about 11:30, and I just finished editing the video, and it's uploading now, so it's going to be a late night. But I was asked by the people I stayed with in Pierre if I would play Victory in Jesus, and it is Sunday, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. The wind has picked up, and I'm not sure if you can hear that, but the waves are crashing into the shore about 5 feet away from me, and it sounds amazing. So with that, I'm going to play Victory in Jesus on the harmonica.